is up, guys? This is my first official review that I'm partaking in. Decided to do No Man's Sky. I've been playing a lot of it since the 1.3 Atlas Rises update. This is a game that I looked forward to when the first launch was announced for the PS4, and we all know the story from there. We got led into I wouldn't say a trap, but a half-baked game. Now it's a year later. They've updated it 2 large times, and I want to review exactly what I think about the game now. I'm going to take it from a standpoint that this game was just released last week or a couple weeks ago, actually, and take it from there. I'm going to give it a fair chance. The first thing I'm going to discuss is the graphic overhaul. First of all, I got to say the graphics are absolutely amazing. This is what I expected when I first seen the game announced in E3. The generation of planets is completely overhauled. There's now caverns, caves, high mountaintops. I found a base that is on the side of a cliffside, on the side of a mountain. So basically there's a giant mountain above me. Down below is my base, and then below that is probably a 100-foot drop to a field full of trees and iron and everything that I need to mine for my base building resources. But overall, the worlds are just much more detailed. When you go to low orbit, the planets actually look like, planets that are actually realistic instead of just blurry, grainy artifacts of, I don't know what it was. It was just blurred colors. And now you go underneath of it and you can actually start to see the rise of the mountains, the depths of the valleys. And sure, there's still some of that grainy artifacting going as the procedural generation takes place. But overall, just the feel of the planets are just tremendous. The creatures, they've been overhauled. The values of the creatures are just much more realistic. I'm seeing creatures that look a little bit more believable instead of the, I don't know what you want to call them, but we've all seen the terrible creatures that were created by some of these things. You'd have giant looking half cow creatures standing on 2 legs and walking around with their fists up like they're 40 style boxing. That's no longer the case. There are some still strange creatures that doesn't look absolutely believable, but the level and the depth of the creatures that they have now are much more interesting. They even added exotic creatures. I've seen people post pictures of mermaids and what have you, so who knows what's out there. Pull out your scanners and start looking. No Man's Sky 1.3 update also added a 30-hour plus story mode and multiplayer light. Multiplayer light is something a lot of people wanted when it first came out. And yes, No Man's Sky developers, Hello Games, did say the game was going to be a multiplayer game. Right now, it's not really multiplayer. You can see each other as orbs, and that's it. You could talk to each other with proximity chat, but you can't trade items, you can't really do anything else. You can't even, I don't know. It's sad. But they say that it's a step towards expanding upon that, which is great. I'm thinking that these orbs are basically just representing what our characters will be at some point in time. I think they still haven't determined if they're going to, I don't know what their plan is. I'm wondering if they're trying to decide on how they're going to original bodies or whatever to represent each player, because as of yet, we still haven't seen ourselves outside of artwork. And I'm not certain what's going on with that. It's strange. Some people were thinking that this update was going to add us as the 4th creature that they kept responding to in all the augmented reality games that they're setting up on the website. But I gotta say, it's a nice step. At least they're trying to get it into the game. Maybe 6 months, 8 months down the road from now, we'll have a fully fleshed out multiplayer game where we're able to go and decimate planets and raid pirates together. Let's keep our fingers crossed. They also added 30 hours of story mode, and that is something I'm definitely going to dig into right now. My whole thing was I was trying to build a farm, get my stuff ready to get a S-class ship so I'm not underneath so much threat when I'm attacked by some heavy pirates, and I'm going to go digging into that story mission. I'm definitely looking forward to it. The 1.3 update also added new farming, crafting material creation, and new trading mechanics. The new farming materials, I've been taking part in these, and I'll be honest, I didn't play much of the 1.2 update. I kind of got into it at the back end, so I just started farming when the update of 1.3 came out. But overall, I gotta say that the farming, it's an interesting aspect. It allows you to gather some of these rare resources you see on some of these planets that are specific to certain planet types, and allows you to take those resources, bring them back to your home planet, build you a little farm, allowing you to have an easier time gathering these resources in one area. And you can craft materials out of these resources that increase in price exponentially. You say you could take some cactus flesh, which you gather, I think it's 100 resources, maybe 50 resources per item that you find. Whenever you pull these out, you can add up to 600 and create unstable flesh. Those sell for about 260,000 credits. You take another set of crafting materials and you combine those to make acid. Those items are worth about 250,000 separately. You combine those two together, they'll make I think it's a thermite grenade or something like that. You can't use it, but it's a sellable item. That item's worth 900,000 to $1 million, depending on where you're selling it at. Maybe more if you can find the right economy that's looking for that. I've had a hard time looking for economies that increase the wealth of the items I've crafted, but I carry some in my ship just to be sure if I find some, I'll be able to market and then, make my profits even that much more better. Overall, the new farming and trading adds a new dimension to No Man's Sky. Allows you to create your way of playing. If you want to be a hi-ho farmer all day, go ahead, work them fields. If you want to go trade all day, go ahead. Go pound them galaxy terminals and see what you can find on the cheap. But I'll tell you what, make sure you use your economy scanner and your conflict scanner. Just want to make sure you don't drop into a high conflict area and just get attacked. I found one and I had a lot of gold, and I had a few Atlas stones on me, and I had pirates on me like stink on you know what. Along with the 1.3 update, No Man's Sky has added a lot more pirate activity, which gives you much more opportunities to attack freighters and gather nanites, plus gather the resources that you need for fuel making much more easier than going down to the planets and grinding them out. Plus, the increased pirate activity means that when you're carrying high-value items, either the ones that you crafted or the ones that you gathered by running missions, they will attack you more often. Sometimes they come at you pretty hard. The 3-star pirates, and I'm not sure if they go up to 4-star, but when they start coming at you with 3 stars, sometimes they come in groups of 3, 4, and it can be pretty bothersome if you don't have a load of shield deflectors or iron to refill your shield bays, because they will hit you hard. But the increased activity gives space travel a little bit more fun and an outlook that you can expect the unexpected. 1.3 also added a terrain editor. This is a pretty handy tool, especially if you're in permadeath mode. It allows you to create a little dugout, dig down a little bit, give you that protection from thermal radiation or whatever you're dealing with in your planet. It seems permadeath sends you to plain out hellhole whenever you first start out, so definitely something, if you get your hands on it, use it. I'm not certain if you can paint with it yet or not. I'll be honest, I haven't really utilized it in my game yet because my tool is better than all the tools I keep finding with the manipulator on it. I'm getting ready to downgrade just so I can play with it. It is what it is, but so far I'm seeing people, they can build mountains and they can build domes. So if you got a base that's on a pretty terrible planet, you can go ahead and build you a dome over your base, but one downside is it takes 1,000 plutonium to recharge it, so you better go farming or load up on plutonium at your base so you can build up. 1.3 also added exotic ships and exotic planets. These things are awesome so far. I've seen a few exotic ships. I almost purchased one. I decided to hold back just because the ship didn't have as many spots as my ship does. I have an 8 class fighter. The ship looked beautiful though. It has moving parts on it when it comes from a landing spot. Its tail end like manipulates and kind of looks like folding wings and this weird like circular engine bay. I don't know, it's crazy looking. That's just the one that I've seen. Ships are nice looking though. I can't wait to get me one. And the exotic planets, I've seen somebody land on one. I've been looking and looking. I haven't found one yet. It looks like glass. I don't know if all of them look this way. His looked like an emerald glass isle. The trees were made of glass. The music was weird. Apparently there was some story to the planet. I am greatly looking forward to finding me an exotic planet. I cannot wait. I don't know if you can build bases on them or not. That'd be cool. Maybe next update, if not. Anyway, this 1.3 update has added a great deal of stuff to make this game worth at least playing again. I've been pouring hours upon hours into it the last couple weeks. It's really paid off. I just wish that they could have released this game in this state instead of giving it the bad press and the bad name that it did when it launched in the half-baked version. At the end of the day, the 1.3 Atlas Rises update greatly improves No Man's Sky. It's brought me back. I've played probably at least 40 to 50 hours since this release. I'm enjoying every bit of it. I did have to restart my game. There was a bug where my base was just decimated from the previous save. The new propagation of planets just totally destroyed a lot of people's bases, I've heard. That's okay. I can understand. They're completely rebuilding the worlds that you were living on, so it's understandable that your base just didn't survive the manipulation. The new content adds a lot more aspects of gameplay. The story mode expands the game and gives somebody who enjoys story-driven campaigns something to do. The new updates did create a lot of bugs. Like I said, my save was from a previous game, and I was falling through worlds as I was exploring. I'd be mining gold or whatever resources I needed, and I would fall completely through the world, and I would just go into invisible water. I would have to restart my game depending on when I last saved. It would, cause some hassle. It's understandable though. The game's using a propagation engine that is pretty amazing to me. I mean, some of the worlds I've seen since the update are just absolutely beautiful. I've seen a lot of images. I've created a lot of images that are just amazing to see. I'm going to put a few in this video that you probably already looked at. Overall, I give the game an 8 out of 10. That's considering if it was new now. I wish No Man's Sky could have gave us a true version and just released No Man's Sky as a $30 game and gave us the updates. But they decided to charge us full price. They created the bad press by expanding on some of the stuff that they were gonna want to do or hope to do at some point in time but weren't there yet. And they got some people's hopes up, and it created a lot of distrust and hatred towards the No Man's Sky community. Overall though, I'm enjoying the game greatly. I love space flight. This game is right up my alley. It's a beautiful game. I'm enjoying every minute I play of it now, and I hope you guys do too. If you guys like this review, please like, subscribe. I'm planning on trying to do this more often, maybe once a week depending on what comes out, maybe once every 2 weeks. We'll see how it goes. So please hit that like, subscribe, comment, hit me up if you want to. I appreciate your view time. You guys have a good one. Enjoy No Man's Sky.